Greetings and welcome to our series of weekly devotionals. This week we're actually looking at a prior passage from last week, dealing with the advent of Advent, a passage in Psalm 25, and talking a little bit about what the season of Advent means for us as Christians. I remember a friend of mine years ago. She told me about a mission statement that her congregation had crafted, and they worked really hard on this mission statement, but they didn't stop there. After they had fashioned their church mission statement, they set about as an organization to look over every event and activity, every gathering they did together as a congregation throughout the year, and they evaluated, and they wanted to make sure that every event, everything they did, coincided, that jived with that mission statement. And if it didn't, they set out to eliminate it. They wanted everything that they did in their life together to kind of to coincide with the mission that they felt God had called them to do and to be about. There's a couple verses in our psalm that I want to share with you. The psalmist writes, "Do not let me be put to shame. Do not let my enemies exult over me. Do not let those who wait for you be put to shame. Let them be ashamed who are wantonly treacherous." Now, most scholars suggest that they don't really know why the writer of those lines might be put to shame. It's sort of left up to the imagination. But what the scholars all agree about is that the psalmist in those verses is asking for God's protection, for God's security, for God's help in times of trouble. And I think in our lives together as congregations, as churches, we are tempted so often to place our trust, our security in so many other things. We put our trust in the building. If we just can maintain the building, the beauty of the building, somehow we'll survive as a church. If we just can increase our giving and increase our stewardship campaigns, if we just have enough money in the endowment fund, we'll be able to go on indefinitely. If we just have more members, if we have enough people in the pews, that will help us to thrive. And the big one is young people. If we just get more young people in our church, we'll have a future that we can rely upon. And I think that the advent of Advent and these verses in Psalm 25 remind us that we are to place our trust for security, for protection, for comfort, reliance, always and first and foremost upon God and our calling from God. Amen.